Hi there, my name is Kono Kalantu, and this is my submission, just reminding myself and everybody else that I'm not an artist. Despite over a decade or more of work in 3D work on Blender, and about 7 years worth of animation experience, plus almost 2 decades worth of texture work, no, I'm just not an artist. Apparently, if you do 3D art, you are not an artist. This is a general note to the public, just to make sure that you guys understand. If you're out there right now doing 3D art, you should go ahead and give up. You should quit, because you're not an artist. By every practical standing that's put out there into the world these days, you, unfortunately, are not an artist. I wish I could tell you that there was a better side to this story, and that maybe one day you'd be recognized. However, after over a decade of entering different art competitions, doing different works, including things for myself, or fan projects, abridged series, even fan contests for Sega. Just a stern reminder that you are not an artist. We aren't. We're not even remotely considered artists. If you don't do 2D work, you will get no notice in the overall world. The public will have nothing to say for you and will ignore you at all costs. Most of them will take your work, export it from video games, animations, and other things, put it up on the model resource online, and only the person that exported it and put it there will be given any credit of any sort. Your work, however, will always be seen as automated, done by AI, or otherwise. This is a conclusion I've come to after almost 20 years of doing this. A whole bunch of different projects which I could be so proud of, but I'm done. You might notice that most of these being shown here are half finished. Well, why would I show a finished product when everything and every time it was meant for something, I was sternly reminded by the teams that I was working for that I was not an artist? Why push through the effort and finish anything if there wasn't a need for it? If I wasn't an artist, if I wasn't going to be recognized for the work, what would be the point in finishing the work? So I continued to do work that I enjoyed for myself, learning organic things on occasion, continuing to work on the metal models and pieces from Sega, trying out a Gundam and trying out forklifts, doing custom projects for other people. Even this little crab meat animation, first thing I ever animated. I'm happy with it. I don't care whether anybody else is or ever will be. But we put in the time and we put in the effort, and if you're out there like me creating 3D work, then you know that you haven't been recognized as an artist. Your art might have been enjoyed, but have you been recognized as an artist? No. You work in 3D. Your landscape is limited, and you are not recognized in the least as an artist. You could get into some projects. You could be successful with them. You could show off how much could be done with them. But at the end of the day, you end up back at square one, a new project that they need imagined. If you aren't picking up the pieces that somebody else pre-made for you and slapping them into that project, you're not an artist. If you're making it all from scratch, you're not an artist. If you value what you're doing more than they value what you're doing, you're not an artist. For 3D artists out there, this is the message they need to hear. And I don't want you to hear it because I want you to give up. I want you to hear it because you need to understand that by the public's definition, we don't matter. We don't exist. So just keep going. Do whatever you want to do. Because what does it matter whether or not they care? See, they've decided that we are not artists. They have decided that we will always come second place to anything that is drawn. And I want to make clear that this is not a hate on 2D artists. People who can draw deserve just as much credit, if not more, for the patience it takes to animate, to draw something over and over just to get that one line right, just to try and do that. I have no hate for the artists out there that work, all of them, whether it be vocal, whether it be a musician, whether it be writing, whether it be drawing, whether it be dance or any other art that there is. But the general public has made it very clear to us. We are not artists. 3D creators who put everything into their work are not artists. They think of computers and instantly see it as auto-made. AI. It's all generated. It takes no effort to do what we do. So these landscapes remain blank, and these walls remain barren, and these files that could have color remain empty and gray. Because what reason would I have to go the extra mile and finish the project if it's not in my own interest? I could remake the same thing a million times. I could build multiple different versions of it. I could make something completely original. I could work until I don't even recognize what I'm working on anymore and go back to the drawing board all over again. But if there's one thing that will never happen, it's that I will never be recognized for all of the work and all of the effort to take something that was sitting still, colorless and empty, and give it life, purpose, and meaning. Fix everything that goes wrong with it, make multiple versions of it, rinse, repeat, try again, and try again, until maybe I make something new, maybe I make something different, maybe it gets a lot more detailed and it looks so much better, but nevertheless, they just look at it and decide, that's 3D, that was automated, you didn't make it, so it's not art, and therefore, you are not an artist. Though I could show them a world, have them explore through it, show them every last corner of it and watch them walk its many, many lengthy halls and corridors, show them the stained glass that was purpose-made from another 3D project, flattened down into a 2D image and then turned mosaic and set across a bleak sky as a background so that it would have some light. And all they would see is that image. And they would be like, wow, what an amazing piece, who did that? I did. It was 3D. Now it's 2D. But you hit yourself over the head. You put in all of the extra work to gain the attention and respect and love. You try something new. You put up more effort. You build things that you don't believe will ever work, and sometimes you abandon those projects in full. But you're not an artist. You're a copycat. You're not an artist. You're not original. You're not an artist. You're an AI. The light work, the texturing, the modeling, the scripting, the animation, the rigging. You're not an artist. This is the message that the community, aka the public, of artists have decided to send. Create anything you want. Make it any size you want. Make it as detailed as you want. Make it custom and original. Do it for somebody else or do it for yourself. Make something from nothing that looks so bland, so basic. Or make it as intricate as you want. Learn from other people in the field. Show that there can be so much more than what they expect and create using it. And yet you are not an artist. If you're tired of hearing that message, if you're tired of hearing me say, you are not an artist, well then, prove me wrong. Build that world. Make that machine. Make the thing that everybody told you wouldn't work. Give it color. Give it life. Put it in front of everybody else who told you that it wouldn't work. Make something that you don't even believe in yourself. Maybe make an animation of it. And even though everything is entirely yours, they'll claim you just ripped it from somewhere else. Even if the animation work is entirely original and done piece by piece because you haven't learned rigging yet, don't worry about it. They'll make sure that you understand you aren't an artist. What's that? You learned scaling to make the animation work fluidly? Doesn't matter. What's that? You learned texturing and did it all yourself? Doesn't matter. What's that? It's been used in multiple video games, but they don't credit you? Doesn't matter. Oh, what's that? You even gone and made an OC piece? Doesn't matter. Oh, look, something that's been used in the real world. Doesn't matter. Oh, look, something that's been used in a major video game series. Doesn't matter. You are not an artist, so start being one today.